The story takes place in Los Angeles. Early in the morning, an armored bank truck slowly drives through the empty streets and stops near a donut shop. Two guards get out and go inside the shop. The driver notices that a car approaches them from behind. Two masked men armed with machine guns come out of it and quickly take the relaxed guards hostage.
No, bro, we're not here for you. Don't even think about it.
More robbers arrive in an SUV and proceed to threaten the driver inside the locked truck, who tries to call for backup.
Armor-piercing rounds are chambered in his firearm. Take your foot off the gas.
They demand he open the truck, threatening to shoot him with armor-piercing bullets. The driver refuses to cooperate. Reluctant to shoot him, the robbers start drilling the bulletproof glass instead, after which they install a hook in a hole and forcefully remove the glass. One of the guards tries to take his gun out. In a panic, the robbers kill the remaining two. Police cars are approaching the scene. Mac, the team's hacker, informs the robbers that they have 30 seconds until the police cars arrive. In a hurry, they put explosives on the back of the truck and detonate them, neutralizing the last remaining guard who was inside. One of the robbers left a small explosive device in their SUV, destroying the evidence inside. Approaching police sirens signal that it's too late to run, so they reluctantly decide to open fire at the arriving police cars. A fierce firefight ensues in which many police officers are gunned down by the automatic fire coming from the robbers. The policemen viciously fight back, shooting one of the criminals. Enraged by this, the remaining robbers continue frantically shooting at the cops, who try to take cover behind their cars. Once the fire has stopped, they throw a smoke grenade at the police, get into the armored truck along with their getaway vehicle, and hastily leave the scene. They drive through a tunnel. Instructed by Mac, the robbers manage to avoid police cars and soon arrive at their safe house. It is revealed that the four robbers, Bosco, Donnie, Ensign, and their leader, Ray Merriman, are former Marines. They stole an empty bank armored truck because they need it for their future heist. Ray is very disappointed with the way things happened earlier. He never expected anyone to get killed, let alone policemen.
We're cop killers now.
Meanwhile, police detective Nick O'Brien quietly sneaks into his own house, intending to erase the messages on his wife Debbie's phone that he accidentally sent her while drunk. But she catches him in the act and shows him the messages that make it apparent that Nick was cheating on her.
What was so hot then? Is that a work text?
Enraged by the infidelity, Debbie takes their daughters and leaves Nick. Sometime later, Nick arrives at the crime scene of the robbery, where he looks at the dead robber.
I take it he's a bad guy.
You mean the guy with the black body armor, shotgun, and gas mask?
Nick is briefed by his colleagues, Baracho, Murph, Gus, and Tony. It is revealed that the armored truck was empty. All the robbers wanted was the truck itself. The area of the donut shop is closed to police helicopters, as it is located near the airport, giving the robbers a perfect opportunity to flee. These and other clues make Nick realize that they are dealing with professional bank robbers. Meanwhile, Bosco sits in a car nearby and takes photos of the detectives with his camera. Later, he shows these photos to Ray and the rest. They do research online and find out that Nick is running a major crimes division in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. At the precinct, Nick's team analyzes the security camera footage. Realizing that the robbers are ex-military, they quickly identify the recently paroled Ray Merriman as a prime suspect. Nick suggests they get to him through Donnie, who works as a bartender at a shady bar. Nick pays a visit to the bar and starts a casual conversation with Donnie.
A lot of shady cats in here, huh?
Later at night, Donnie gets in his car after work. Suddenly, he is attacked by Nick, who tases him and knocks him unconscious. He wakes up in an apartment, greeted by Nick. Confused, Donnie looks around the apartment and finds Nick and his men awaiting him in the other room. He sits in a chair and tries to reason with them.
I think y'all got me confused with somebody.
Nick shows Donnie the photos confirming his connection to Ray Merriman. Pressured by Gus, who brings up Donnie's past as a small-time car thief, a scared Donnie keeps asking for a phone call and a lawyer. Nick explains to him that they are not ordinary policemen.
Do we look like the types who'll arrest you?
Despite that, Donnie still denies his involvement with the robbery, so Nick starts strangling him to a point where he almost passes out. Freaked out by the assault, Donnie reluctantly confesses to being the driver in Ray's crew.
I'm just the driver. They asked me to drive, so that's what I do.
He explains that a few months ago, he was introduced to Bosco in a bar by a mutual friend, Marcus. Later, Bosco brought Donnie to Ray's house right after he came out of prison.
So you can drive, huh?
Oh, I could drive.
The two took a fast drive in a Mustang, during which Donnie impressed Ray with his skills. Soon, Donnie participated in his first job with the crew. They stole a large sum of cash from a stadium, over $3 million. Marcus wanted them to split the money and quit while they were ahead. But Ray revealed that he intends to use this money as an investment in a much bigger heist. Donnie claims he doesn't know anything else because they don't tell him, so Nick reluctantly lets him go for now. Detectives identify the dead robber from earlier as Marcus Rhodes. He was the one who recruited Donnie. Looking through his file, they realize that he and Ray served together in the Marine Corps. By following this lead, they identify Ensign and Bosco as Ray's accomplices, and trace Ray Merriman's crew to a whole series of unsolved, sophisticated bank robberies.
We nail these guys, we solve all these cases.
Donnie receives a phone call from Ray telling him that he wants to meet. The next day, they pick him up in a car. During the ride, Ray reveals that he intends to rob the Los Angeles branch of the Federal Reserve Bank. The task is going to be next to impossible.
That's why we're gonna rob it.
As soon as someone enters the lobby of this bank, a computer identifies them with the face recognition software and finds their file in a database. So anyone with a criminal record would be detained by security. All security guards have special swipe cards, and all the rooms require security authorization. At the central security level, armored bank trucks drive in and drop off money bins. Cash is then transported by federal employees who take it to the vault. At any given time, there are about $500 to $800 billion in there. But stealing this money is not an option, as every single bill is put into a database. And if it goes missing, it will be listed as stolen and will be easily tracked when used. However, every time the federal bank receives a deposit of cash from another bank, that money goes through a process in which old bills are removed from circulation and destroyed in a shredder. Prior to their destruction, their numbers are erased from the database, so these bills can't be traced if stolen. With $30 million in old bills removed from circulation daily, they plan to steal the untraceable money before it is shredded. Ray intends to use the armored bank truck they stole earlier as a way for them to get inside. To scope the bank, Donnie cleverly gets a job as a delivery boy in a Chinese restaurant nearby. As expected, he gets an opportunity to deliver Chinese food inside the bank. He walks into the bank, unaware that Nick's team is watching him closely. In the lobby, an alarm goes off because Donnie has a criminal record. However, it's perfectly plausible that a small-time ex-convict would be working as a delivery boy, so after a brief search, security guards give him a swipe card to use the elevator and let him inside.
He's good, let him in.
Donnie delivers the food to two ladies in a cafeteria. Once that's done, he goes to the toilet and hides a food bag in the ventilation, presumably to use it later. Later, Ray's crew is having dinner at a restaurant. It so happens that Nick and the detectives also went to the same restaurant. Nick approaches the robbers and comically says hello to Donnie.
Donnie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, fellas?
He goes on mocking Ray's crew, remembering that in high school he played football against Ensign's school and defeated them. Tensions rise until Gus takes Nick away, apologizing to Ray. Donnie is in big trouble because Ray and the rest now think that he's an informant. Arriving at their safe house, they interrogate him at gunpoint. Under pressure, Donnie reluctantly reveals that Nick questioned him earlier.
He came to me. He know you. He know all of you.
He swears that Nick doesn't know anything about the Federal Reserve Bank. Surprising Donnie, Ray spares his life and orders him to tell Nick that the heist is happening on Friday. As instructed, Donnie informs Nick about it, but denies knowing the location. Nick is seduced by a woman in a bar, who later turns out to be Ray's girlfriend. She tells Nick that the robbers are going to hit the Pico Rivera Savings and Loan Bank. He believes her, unaware that it was Ray himself who told her to feed Nick this information. On Friday, the robbers get together and gather their gear, getting ready for the heist. Ray gives Donnie a weapon and instructs him on how to use it.
Pay attention. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you're going to shoot somebody.
At the precinct, Nick and his team are also preparing for the inevitable shootout. They set up surveillance at the bank and observe a white van arriving at the place. It is the armed robbers who are wearing Black Ops suits with stylish skull masks. They approach the bank and go in, threatening the people inside.
Get down on the ground! Down on the ground! Get down!
The robbers quickly disarm the bank guards, destroy the surveillance cameras, and bring everyone out in the open. Ray assures the customers and staff that if they cooperate, they won't be harmed.
We are here for money, not for you!
He orders everyone to get on their knees and relinquish their cell phones, after which the robbers restrain them and put bags over their heads. Ray gets a bank manager out of a lineup and puts him in a chair. He tells the bank employee to call 911 and relay their demands. Ray demands a $10 million ransom for the hostages and a fully fueled helicopter. Otherwise, they will kill one hostage every hour.
Go ahead and pick up the phone.
Soon, the bank is surrounded by police and FBI cars. This enrages Nick, who wanted to keep the quiet surveillance a bit longer. Meanwhile, the robbers force the bank manager to open the vault. Later, a police representative calls the bank and attempts to negotiate for the release of the hostages. Ray refuses to negotiate until his demands are met.
You just killed a hostage.
One of the robbers brings a woman hostage into the back room and shoots her. The police negotiator calls again and informs Ray that the chopper and the money will arrive in 90 minutes. He agrees to these terms. Nick is beginning to suspect that something is wrong, as this robbery is not typical of Ray's crew. His suspicions intensify when he receives a call from Ray, who gloats over executing the hostage. While the policemen try to figure out what to do next, robbers inside the bank detonate an explosive device in the vault. Nick finally realizes that this fake robbery is just a distraction. He deduces that Ray and his men intend to flee through the sewer and do the real heist elsewhere, while the entire police force stays here, waiting patiently for 90 minutes. Despite the objections from his colleagues, Nick takes a crowbar and starts walking towards the bank. Once inside, he breaks the door and verifies that the robbers are indeed gone, and the hostages are alive and well.
Everybody okay?
Interestingly, the woman who was supposedly executed by the robbers turned out to be alive. It fits Ray's profile, as he was always reluctant to harm innocent civilians. Nick's team proceeds inside the bank and finds a huge hole in the floor, confirming Nick's theory. Nick gets in a car and drives to the Federal Reserve Bank, asking the LAPD and FBI to coordinate their efforts with him. Mac hacks into the Federal Reserve Bank systems and sets up a delivery. Soon, a gray armored truck with the Pico Rivera logo arrives at the Federal Reserve Bank. It's Ray and Ensign disguised as bank security guards. Guards check their paperwork. Having no reason to suspect the two, the guards let them in. They park their truck and get out.
Pico Rivera Savings?
Yep, that's us.
Ray and Ensign take the large bins with cash out of the truck and start pushing them to the vault. This cash was stolen by them earlier from the stadium. In the vault, the bins are taken by federal employees who must count the money before putting it in the vault. While they handle the cash, the robbers patiently wait outside the room, preparing for the next phase of the plan. Turns out Donnie is hidden inside one of the bins with cash. Meanwhile, Bosco is outside the bank, posing as a municipal electrician. Once Ray gives the signal, Bosco disrupts the power supply to the counting room, making it look like a common brownout. Policemen follow procedure and send away the federal employees from the room. Donnie uses a generator to trigger an electromagnetic pulse that disables the security cameras in the counting room. Once the cameras are down, Donnie leaves the bin and starts collecting the old bills that were marked for shredding. One of the policemen gets suspicious about the malfunctioning camera and overrides the system. Ray signals Donnie to get down and wait. They distract the cop by creating a disturbance on a radio channel, giving Donnie a chance to continue collecting the bills in the black bags, which he then sends down the trash chute. Policemen and counting men get back to the room right after Donnie finished the process. While they're walking to open the room, Donnie quickly removes an air duct and escapes into the ventilation. The counting men come inside, but don't find anything out of the ordinary. Ray signals Bosco to finish the brownout, while Donnie quietly crawls through the ventilation. Federal employees finish counting the money and report to Ray and Ensign, so the two go back to their truck and start driving towards the exit. Before they can leave, a suspicious security guard asks for their paperwork again, but everything checks out.
You boys are good to go. Thank you very much, officer.
Meanwhile, Donnie arrives at the toilet and retrieves the food bag he left there earlier. The robbery was planned to happen at the same time that the two women from the building usually order Chinese food. Since Donnie is wearing a delivery boy uniform, he delivers them a bag with Chinese food, like he always does. Donnie uses a stolen swipe card to use the elevator and go downstairs. However, in the lobby, he is confronted by a security guard who points out that Donnie didn't sign in when he entered the building.
Well, man, I signed my name with a dude from the last shift, man.
Having no reason to suspect Donnie's story, the guard allows him to leave. Bags with money were supposed to be collected by a garbage truck driven by one of Ray's men, but another garbage truck beat them to it, so Bosco follows the truck in a black SUV. He informs Ray that he is following the garbage truck. Together, they block its way, after which Bosco threatens the driver.
Move! Let's go! Get out! Come on! Move!
He steals the truck and departs, leaving the confused driver behind. Ray and the rest drive to a wrecking yard to get rid of their vehicles.
All right, let's go, let's get this done as quick as we can, huh?
Meanwhile, Nick and his team finally arrive at the bank. They notice Donnie walking through the street in his distinctive red shirt and move to apprehend him. They throw him in their car and start beating him up viciously, while Ray is listening to the torture on the radio. Donnie reluctantly reveals that Ray is at the Pacific Horizon salvage facility. Realizing that Nick is onto them, Ray, Bosco, and Ensign hastily recover the money from the garbage bags and destroy all the evidence, after which they depart in a black SUV. But they were too late, as Nick was already there and spotted them when they left.
Eyes on suspects! Black four-door Suburban!
The robbers quickly drive away, unaware they're being followed, but are soon stopped by a traffic jam. They slowly drive forward while Nick catches up with them and takes his place in a line of cars, along with his teammates in the other car. Donnie is still in Nick's car, handcuffed to the back seat. Ray's crew spots the policemen in their black cars. Realizing there is no easy way out, they put on their bulletproof vests and take out their machine guns, preparing for the inevitable shootout.
Be advised, suspects wearing body armor.
Nick orders his men to move in. They get out of their cars, coordinate their attack, and start slowly moving towards the robbers while telling innocent bystanders to take cover. Seeing this, Ray takes out a heavy machine gun and mounts it on the car. He gives a signal for Ensign and Bosco to leave the car and opens fire through the glass. A fierce shootout ensues in which Borracho gets killed. While the robbers and policemen exchange fire, Nick orders some of his men to go around the robbers, who are slowly moving away through the traffic jam. In a chaotic firefight, Bosco is shot dead by Nick, but several more policemen are wounded by the robbers. Gus went around them earlier. Getting into position, he opens fire, fatally wounding Ensign. Ray is left alone against Nick and Gus. They exchange fire until Ray drops the gun and tries to run away behind the building. He ambushes Nick and manages to hit him in the hand. Despite the injury, Nick continues chasing the robber. While Ray was climbing a metal wall, Nick opened fire through the sheet of metal, hitting Ray behind it. Fatally wounded, Ray desperately shoots back but can't hit Nick. Frantically shooting at him, Ray receives another hit and realizes that he's out of bullets. Nick slowly approaches the wounded Ray, who still refuses to drop his gun.
Don't do it.
While he's lying on the ground, Nick approaches him and respectfully stays by his side until he dies. After the violent ordeal has concluded, Nick finds out that Donnie managed to escape from his car. They check the robber's SUV. Instead of money, they find nothing but shredded paper and black bags. Suspecting that it's Donnie who still has the money, Nick goes to a bar where Donnie used to work. The owner tells him that Donnie quit 2 days ago. Nick notices that Federal Reserve Bank employees go to this bar regularly. He looks at a picture of a football team, comprised of Donnie and his friends, where Donnie is the leader, and realizes in terror that Donnie wasn't just a naive fool used by Ray's crew. On the contrary, he was the genius mastermind who pitched the idea of robbing the Federal Reserve Bank to Ray in the first place. Having friends from the bar who worked on the inside, he was able to provide Ray's crew with detailed information about the bank, giving them an opportunity to pull off the impossible heist. Once he escaped from Nick's custody, he retrieved the money that the robbers agreed to stash at a wrecking yard before they left in an SUV and had this money smuggled to Panama inside car tires. A few months later, Donnie resurfaced in London, where he got a job as a bartender. Once again, he uses his position to mastermind yet another heist.
Diamond exchange.
That's fine.
Beers on me.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.